Hey everyone, this is my How It Was Made video for Afterglow, the song Ciele and I just put out. Now, it started in a pretty standard way. We just bounced ideas back and forth for a bit, and this is what we ended up building the track out from. So simple verse, super simple chorus, and then this part right here is what kind of stuck out to both of us. And as you can hear, well, it's fresh in our ears. Here's the corresponding part in the final track. So is this guy. This is the most obvious thing that ended up making the cut in the final track. Anyway, once we decided it was cool to try and work with that initial idea, she ended up recording vocals for a song she had previously written on top of that, and that's what she sent me. So from there, I used that as my sort of reference to build out the rest of the track. And the first thing I did to kick that process off was I added in the acoustic guitar to the verses, and I actually just used the same patch I used in my track Her. And the only difference is, instead of it being this pleasant, normal, bright acoustic guitar sound, I threw on, and I don't even remember why I did this. I don't think I've ever used this plugin in my life, but I put this rotor cabinet plugin on there, and it kind of sounds like it's, underwater or something. It just kind of served as a cool filter. And after doing that and being pretty happy with how that sounded, I took more inspiration from my song Her, and you sort of built a little riff that's largely modeled after the one I used the intro of Her. Let's see, after that, there's some very simple drums, kick and a snap. Tiny bit of percussion, a kind of quiet sub bass. And beyond that, there's really not much going on in this verse. And that was done purposely because, I didn't want too much conflicting with Ciele's voice, because it's, I don't know, she sounds so great, and I think less is more really applied here.
At the end of my last straw, sliding on the way down, banking on this paragon.
That also goes for the first half of the chorus as well. Obviously the beat and the drums they pick up a bit more. But beyond essentially just like a bass and a piano, and this acoustic guitar is playing the same thing as the bass, I think. Yeah. The only sort of melodic thing I have going on is this quiet little bell melody. So that section without her voice, let's see, sounds like this. So yeah, it's very simple, but again, it was done purposely to make room for Ciele to really shine through here.
There's a place I know, traveling the line of this vertigo. So I said,
and in the following part, I think the drums pick up a bit. I added in a shaker and a tambourine. Oh, and these little syncopated side sticks. Which on their own sounds really, really simple, but they're surprisingly effective. So without them, we have this. But with the side sticks hitting around the beat, it makes things, the general drum beat is just a lot more interesting. Let's see. So obviously there's this guy, which stayed in from the initial draft idea. But I also added these kind of like ornamental, plucky arps. And I think, yeah, it's just some Irish string instrument from Logic's default sampler. But what I use to make everything kind of spacey, or not everything, if I use this on every track, things would sound pretty messy. But Valhalla Shimmer, it's like a reverb on steroids, and it's awesome. So without Valhalla Shimmer on there, we have this. And with it, and yeah, it's one of my favorite plugins by far. I'm trying to think. I did actually spend a lot of time trying to put vocal chops in this section. Ciele suggested it, and it's a really good idea. Like I kind of still wish it could have worked, but I don't know. Things just, I couldn't make it happen, more or less. It's and sometimes that's just the way it goes. But I didn't necessarily accept failure. I just, taking a step back and actually thinking about it with all this stuff, there's already quite a bit going on. So fortunately, she ended up recording like 3 minutes of ad-libs, and I cut out some of my favorite parts and threw a few of them in the second half of this section, which I think added just enough to make this whole part interesting, because without it, I don't know, it was just a bit stale. So with those vocal chops, ad-libs, yeah, I mean, second verse doesn't do too much different. There's this spacey little bridge that I made. It just has some little added pad sounds on top of, I think, yeah, just a standard sounding acoustic guitar. This one doesn't have the crazy rotor cabinet on it. And then just added a very, very simple melody to the second part of it. Beyond that, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess just to quickly bring up the intro and outro, I used this guy, because I really like that, but I couldn't find a good place for it in the core song. And fortunately, it ended up working out by putting it in the outro. So it kind of signifies the start and the end of the song. Except in the outro, it's a super distorted xylophone playing it. Which pretty much sums up the song without going into needlessly specific production details. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.